Yo, 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 yo. G'day, mate. Shall I throw a pip on the barbie for you? Ripper. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today, well, simply to be a community. Hey, a lot of things going on. Technically, fundamentally, psychologically, it's all a disaster. Yeah, I lost something really important today. That's why I was late. My confidence in the United Kingdom. Oh my God, what's going on? And oil, oh my God, what's going on? And the Fed, and the Bank of England, and the ECB, and the Bank of Japan, and oh my God. What crisis do you focus on at any given time? Holy smokes. Well, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. So, holy smokes, just a lot going on that could be a fabulous opportunity to lose money. Maybe you could accidentally make some money. Holy smokes, so much going on. A lot of cross currents. A lot of volatility, a lot of risk. It's all over the place. So luckily, you have a place to turn. You have friends and comrades going through the same challenges. So let me know how I can help. Let me remind you that trading... Is that one? Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, I don't know why that was muted. Let me say the disclaimer one more time, just for the NFA. I'm not sure if you heard it, but let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Yeah, I don't know why that was muted. So, like I was saying, that this is not my first rodeo. I've been through central bank intervention before. I've been through economic collapses before. So just let me know how I can help. Hey, it's complicated. There's a lot going on technically, fundamentally, and then there's stuff in between that it's not even technical or fundamental. Yeah, it's very unusual, but it does happen. So, let's talk about it. Let's deal with it. Yeah. So ask questions, get involved, and I will do my best to help. Make sure you click the thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe. Johnny says the 2 trades from last week's swing are working. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Nice. Thumbs up for the fundies. In the description below the video, you will see many links to help. Help me! There are links. One of those links is to tradersway.com. You're going to need a broker. I recommend you use tradersway.com. I do. They earned my loyalty and respect. They earned my loyalty and respect. So, perhaps if you open up a demo account, they'll earn your loyalty and respect too. Tradersway.com. You'll also find a link to fxbootcamp.com. You will get hardcore training. Hardcore training for $88.
Wayne, can you tell me what the MACD is?
Yes.
Wayne, does it cover moving averages?
Yeah, bro. It's 65 hours of training. Yes, it covers all the basics of technical analysis and maybe even the advance, if there is such a thing. But if you're like, Wayne, what's going on with these central banks and what is intervention? What is monetary policy? How does the economy impact the central bank, and how does the central bank impact the value of a currency? Yeah, now we're talking, bro. Macroeconomics, central banking policy. It's all in there in great, great detail. And it's all included for $88. And so much more. So much more than that. But that is what's going on now. And if you don't understand what balance sheet runoff is, if you don't understand what central bank intervention is, if you don't understand monetary policy, you're not on the clue train, Bubba. You're not even at the train station. Okay? So, $88 solves your problem. But you still got to learn how to trade with patience and discipline. And that's even 10 times harder than that. Oh, look at that. I got to move that over. That's YouTube. Oop, let me get rid of that. And I'll move that over. Okay, oil's Oscar Mike. Oil is Oscar Mike. To the upside. Was there any particular reason the New York boys took it up? OPEC. Nice. Yeah. Now, in the oil trading group that met at 7 o'clock in the morning at the beginning of this gray candle, this gray box, I made a declaration that I'm a bull. Before I was a bull, but we had technically a bearish market. So that's not an easy thing to deal with. It takes patience and discipline. So that's interesting. And I talked about the OPEC news that came out about 1 o'clock in the morning, New York time. Many oil traders that live in the New York time zone are asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I talked about it here at 7 o'clock in the morning going, well, OPEC seems to be cutting. And that's probably the thing that will give me the strength to be a bull. And it went up. Cool. Nice. Fundamentals, by the way. Fundamentals. If you got a problem, fundamentals will solve it. That didn't quite fit, but anyways. Check out my hook while my DJ revolves it. So anyways, oily on the mic, on the move. Oscar Mike, on the move. I think it's really going up because Darko's going on vacation. Mm-hmm. Yup. Of course, right, Darko? Yeah, of course. Hey, it happens to me too, brother. Bitcoin going nowhere, so not risk on, not risk off, neutral. That's how I felt last night, by the way. So this morning was the oil trading group. Last night was the day trading group. And last night I was quite neutral. Did I mention gold in the last 2 minutes? No. Okay, so we're looking for risk on or risk off. It's a new quarter that changes things. We are also waiting for earnings season to begin, and before that we need NFP, and then as earnings season starts, we'll probably get CPI. Jumbo. So we got some stuff to get going before the new quarter really is firing on all cylinders, and people are looking around. Is it risk on or risk off? Usually it's risk on. I'm not quite ready for risk on. Let's take a look at the week. Okay. Housing is always a big deal in Australia, but obviously the interest rate decision is a doozy. They're hurting bad. Australia's hurting bad. So what are they doing? Because now 2.35 is not much, is it? Relative to other major economies. Canada is a full percentage point and more above that. Or not, I guess not more. Canada's 3.25, right? So anyway, so Canada is significantly more. And so is the RBA going to jack up 1%? I don't think so. So anyways, it'll be very interesting. Would it be possible that as oil keeps going higher, people are tending to change to make oil? No. By the way, you need to answer questions like that. I did an entire oil trading course that's something like 16 or 17 hours long. You should know this stuff. Yeah. I'm just saying, I answered that with a course. So if you're asking those types of questions, Sky Killer, take the course. The link is in the description below the video. I can't give you a 16-hour answer. And many people in this room already know that answer. Yep. Yeah, that's all right. Okay, so that's a hint, guys. There's a lot of information that's been provided. It's been thought about. It's been developed. It's been put down into a PowerPoint presentation and organized in a way that is understandable so that it can be learned. It's all been put together, and it's ridiculously dirt cheap. So you need to join FX Bootcamp. And I'm not saying this to Sky Killer. I'm just saying it to everybody. Like, I don't know what's holding you back from joining. What, you think you're making me rich at $88 a year? Maybe you are. So what? What the hell? What do you care? Like, dude, get the info. Like, it's so cheap, it would be foolish as an economic decision-making process for you to deny yourself knowledge that obviously is going to impact your trading. So if you're like, oh, I can't do it, he's promoting it, I can't pay the $80 because he's a salesman or something. Okay. It makes no logical sense. So if you're a Forex trader, you should pay the $88, even if you hate my guts. And you're like, I don't want to join his live groups, and I hate when he does this, and he's so self-absorbed, and he's an arrogant prick. Good, whatever. Pay the $88, get knowledgeable, and then moveon.com. But you need to know this stuff. It's very, very important. Abraham says, how would you go about selling your trading system? Well, you would set up a hedge fund, right, as an algo program, and then you would go pitch. So I took a course called the Algorithmic Trading Program at the University of Oxford in England. You should probably take that course. Because, that's what it's about. So anyways. All right, going on to Tuesday, the RBNZ is going to make their decision. Okay, huge. Okay, ADP. Another dumb prediction. That's on Wednesday. Also, oil inventories, right? So on Tuesday, right, you have API. On Wednesday, you have the EIA inventory report. So that's a big day for oil. But if you took the training course, do you see the big hint here? If you took the oil training course, you will know that Wednesday is not the best day to trade oil. Oh, yeah, there's a huge report and volatility comes out. Yeah, it's a big deal. Yes, it is. It's not the best trading day. But it's tradable. Thursday. Monetary policy meeting. Huh. Can't be that important. Jobless claims. Friday. Non-farm payrolls. Kitty cat jobs. And of course, there are rig count. Which, of course, it's not on here. You're like, how come it's not on there? Okay, the rig count. How many rigs were lost during the hurricane? Okay. So let's move on. This is a filter. Is there good news or bad news going on right now as the new quarter begins? According to Bitcoin, slightly bearish, but not bearish. Definitely not bullish. Huh. So yes, there's excitement going on. How about that UK government, huh? How about that UK government? All over the place, huh? Sure glad I stopped selling it right before the green candles. Holy smokes. Yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, I think, for the Brits. Right now, what do you think of like this type of process? Okay, I'm giving you a hint. The first thing I would say is yes. The second thing I would say is not on this. Stingray at $88, there ain't no coupon code. Okay. What about pound CAD? Can you knock the door of running a... No. Yeah, no. You have to be an industry expert. Okay. I mean, look, you might have the world's greatest algo. Nobody's interested. Because you're asking basic questions, which means you don't know, which also means you're probably not ready. So very often, like back when I was a venture capitalist, if you were working with young entrepreneurs, right, they're like, I got a revolutionary technology. It's going to change the world. Do you have a business plan? No. Do you have a degree in business? No. Do you know anything about business? No. Oh. You don't have a business? No. And all of a sudden there's just like this stalemate. Like maybe you do have a revolutionary technology, but you don't have something worthy of investing, right? So very often startups have this cold start problem, not just finding customers or something, but in the very beginning, it's like one or two dudes working out of their garage and they're really good at this one thing, but they don't know jack about everything else. And so I would, if I was you, I would spend time becoming an industry expert. You need to, first of all, make sure you understand the market and the potential investor. And you need to get known and build some sort of reputation. Like, for example, let's say you have built an algo and it's awesome. Okay? There's got to be, I would guess, a 98% chance your back testing is incorrect. So you present it, you're like, we back tested it. Let's say you got a meeting with everything, with somebody, right? And you're like, we back tested it. Well, what kind of out of sample did you use? What? Your out of sampling data. What was your strategy? What did you do for your out of sample? What's an out of sample? Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your time. Get the fuck out. Right? All of a sudden it's dead, right? It's just dead. But you're not even going to get that meeting. So I would build like the way to get a startup is not only do you have to build a technology that somehow becomes a product or service for an industry, but you have to build a business too. Okay? You got to have a team. You got to have beta products. You probably need a law firm and an accounting firm and some sort of control. Like if they gave you a $5 million investment, but you don't even have a money person, like, dude, like what? Like, I don't, you're right. You got to get past that. Right. Right, Jim. So it's like, well, we put $10,000 of our own money into this algo 3 years ago, and it's $1 million today. It's got very good risk-adjusted returns. It's got a good Sharpe ratio. We've looked at 27 different ratios. They're all good. It cuts losses fairly quickly, and it lets winners run, and it just squeezes all the juice out of the orange. It's beautiful. It's changed when it needed to change. It let things run when it needed to, allowed things to run when it could, right? And all of a sudden you got really good data. You're like, someone looks at it like, wait, what? You've been running for 3 years with live money and you turn 10,000 into $1 million and you have good risk-adjusted performance? Over that period, you've had a 1.8 Sharp? Really? For 3 years. You're like, yeah, but before we went live, we also, had, 30 years of back testing. We did multiple different out of sample strategies, and it always performed well. We didn't. There was clear that we didn't overfit the data. So then we went live, and over the last 1,000 days, it's been it produced 1,000%. It blew away our expectations. And it's adapting to all these changes in the market. All this craziness with the central banks and the stock market's down and then it's up and then it's down again. It's performed very well. Okay. So then if you were able to, you need to then build, then get there and present that to somebody. But you'll see the only way you're going to get a meeting like that is to be introduced to the meeting. And then so you got to earn someone else's respect, which means you have to earn someone else's respect. So you need to start a business, man, and let it grow consistently over time. Okay. So let's say you go to Oxford, you develop a relationship with some of the leadership at that program, and you say, hey, well, just out of interest, could you look at my algo? I've done this, and this. And then from what I learned from the class, I did this, and this. And it performs very well. Could you take a look at it and give me some feedback? They look at it and go, oh, God, as Kanye would say, oh, God, this is awesome. And you're like, I know, right? And they're like, well, let us have so-and-so look at it. Okay, good. And then so-and-so wants to show it to their friend who runs a fund. Looks at algos all day. Hey, what do you think of this? Blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, yeah, you're moving and hustling. That's why you can't just show up and pitch somebody. You got to be in the industry. You got to be in the know, and you got to have people vouch for you. Okay. Richard said, you're asking how much do you need to start? Reverse this situation. If you were meeting with a young Forex trader and they were asking you for $1 million, and they're telling you it's the greatest thing. It's the greatest thing. It's the greatest thing. It just prints money. And you're like, that's cool. How big is your account? And the trader says, oh, it's a demo account. But if you give me $1 million, we'll get rich. Okay. Okay. Well, there's no hopefully. You can't think about that. There's no hopefully. Hopefully the moon doesn't crash into the earth and kill us all. That would be a hope. No, you have to have a business plan. So like I said, I just laid out a plan. I want a professional hedge fund to look at my algo. All I have to do is go to Oxford. All I have to do is get an A in the class and impress the leadership involved with the course to the point where they're willing to give me some of their time to review the algo, because clearly maybe you mentioned it in some of the homework and you showed some of the statistics, and then you politely ask, would you please just take a look at this, because this is why I took the class. And they look at it and they're like, oh God, this looks good. Give us the actual data. You give them the actual data, they run it, and they're like, holy shit, this guy's got a 1.8 sharp over the last 3 years. You're like, oh God. Then they're like, we double checked it. Now they're talking to their friends, and their buddies are like, one of the guys in our course has this algo, and it's been a monster even during the craziness of the last 18 months. And it's not gambling. It's just really good. Dude, now you got it. Why am I not using an algo? How do you know I'm not using an algo, Michael? See, I'm teaching you technical and fundamental analysis mixed in with some trader psychology. But other than that, you don't know me. Okay? This is just my coaching account. Yeah, I trade. Right. I trade. Sure. This account's up like 15, 16, 17% this year. This is my coaching account. But it's like, because I taught you the ABCs and basic sentence structure, doesn't mean I'm sharing with you my existential poetry written in French. Okay? Can you teach us how to build a good algo? If you don't know how to trade, it's pointless. Okay? You can hire somebody. The cool thing about money is it converts into stuff. So, Michael, if you know how to trade, then you know how to tell a computer how to trade. But then you're like, but I don't know Python. Well, there's plenty of people on this planet that will work for $20 an hour and program it for you. You just buy that. That's cheap. Money is easy. Okay? But teaching a computer how to trade is difficult. Teaching a human how to trade is difficult. Okay? Humans make stupid mistakes, but an algo can make a horrible mistake way beyond a human. Like, a human can make trades that are too big. They can do revenge trades and all that. But an algo can make 27,000 trades in a minute. Like, you're not that, right? A human wouldn't make that mistake where they're like, sell, right? You're like, oh God, I can't stop selling. Sell. I can't just stop. I can't stop. Well, an algo could do that. An algo can't think. Okay? But an algorithm is just rules of engagement. I'm programming you. So if you're programmable, and by the way, many of you are not. Many are not coachable. Yeah, Patrick's like, yeah, many only want to passively run something automatically and get rich. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Okay? Paying someone to steal your algo. How can you avoid them stealing your rules? Hire somebody good. Make them sign legal contracts. Okay? Hire somebody you know. Hire somebody full time. Threaten to kill them. Oh, maybe not that. But yeah, do it well. Don't hire somebody on Fiverr. Well, I paid him $5. He said he can build my algo. But yeah, it's a problem. You'll have to deal with that. That's why when you roll into a potential investor and you're like, I own the intellectual property here, okay, that you've done something, you identified the threat, you've created a strategy around it, and you have a positive outcome that is now an asset. Okay? Yeah, you watched all the videos in the training program, still not profitable. You can watch them 20 times. Watching the videos doesn't make you profitable. Okay? You can watch as much golf on TV as you want. You won't become a better golfer. Watch the time. Yeah. Let's get something else in here before I run out of time. Let's just move on. One things I was talking about last night was my worry about the yen at 145, and then the UK. Whoa, vey. So how can I prove? Should I join your live group? That would be a strategy. I also wrote a book. If you did the things in the book, which of course nobody does. Nobody. I bet you not even one person. I wrote a whole book on it. I doubt even one person did a business planning retreat with themselves. I bet you not even one person has identified their strengths and weaknesses, going through printing their charts. And remember, Forex, right? Forex the experience in 1 year. Is that right? Okay. Well, Jim's special, though. That is true. Okay. Printing out your charts and then taking a second piece of paper and covering it and going through every candle and writing down your strengths and weaknesses and starting the week with, very focused goals. Nobody does that. Statistically. We'll say statistically speaking, right, Jim? 99.9% of people, they read the book and they're like, that was a good book. That was funny. And then they bought 5 other books, 10 other books, and they read those, and those were also good. I know somebody, he's a success, by the way, so it's not a bad story, but he has thousands of self-help books. I'm like, thousands? I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. I'm like, you have thousands. Like, how about like when you've read 800 self-help books and you're like, what propels you to read one more, right? Of course, you actually enjoy reading the books, but I was actually surprised. He went to a Tony Robbins event. And wow, is that something else? I've seen him speak live once, but I didn't go to a Tony Robbins conference. But oh, holy crap, was that? I was so amazed. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And I don't mean him, I mean the audience. Holy smokes, unbelievable experience. But anyways, my buddy went. And he paid thousands of dollars for the tickets, and he came back and he had signed up for like a $25,000 program. I'm like, what? Holy shit, really? Amazing. So anyways, but he is a success. Okay? He is a success. Oh, yeah. He has a giant boat. He has a big house on the lake, but that's just his vacation home. So he spends the weekends on his lake house with his giant boat. You know, he's got like a 40-foot tri-level cruiser. Hey, man, living life large, right? Loving life, living large. But the point is, you got to do it. So you can watch all the videos. You have to do it. You can read my book. You have to do it. Okay? There are boot campers that wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about myself, to do boot camp. But there's also boot campers that stay up until 2 o'clock in the morning. Many of them are here. So you can watch all the videos 20 times. You have to have, on top of all of that, a ridiculous, sickening work ethic to do it. But I'm telling you, you can watch all the videos and just sit here and make a bunch of shitty trades, trade after trade after trade, and all you're doing is perfecting the shitty trades. You have what you need to do is change. That's the biggest thing. And you need to have a scientific methodology to what you're doing. You change one tiny thing, and then you test and you test and you test and you test, and then you analyze the results. And you make adjustments and you test and you I don't mean back testing. I mean taking control of your trading and developing patience and discipline to execute with near perfection. But if you go to the driving range at a golf course and you get a bucket of balls for $10 and you hit 100 slices in a row, all you're doing is perfecting your slice. Okay? So there's more to it than that. The videos are a great help. You need to see. So like when I took golf lessons, my golf instructor was a PGA pro. He actually shot a 59 on the PGA Tour. He was paired with Tiger Woods once. Hey, cool, right? Hey, yeah. So anyways, one of the things he did was he recorded my swing from multiple directions, front, side, rear, put it into a computer, and we went through hundreds of PGA Tour professionals and matched my swing with a PGA Tour player with a similar swing. And we can go millisecond by millisecond by millisecond, where my club is, where their club is, where I'm lagging and they're leading, and where I'm leading and they're lagging, and my hip is doing this and their hip is doing that. And so what I would work on for an entire week is where my hip is in one tiny moment in time. So when I'm swinging my club at the driving range, I'm not trying to hit long bombs. I'm trying to get my hip in, keep it in. In fact, I used to do this kind of lean back and then, right, like a snap with my spine. And they're like, hey, with the arm is fine, but not with your hips, right? The hips pop later, but you don't, right? So anyway, so keep that in and then, right? Keep it in and then. Keep it in and then. And I would just work on that 1,000 times. Okay? Work on one specific tiny little thing. The other thing is my wrist was always like this, not like this, not like that, right? Right? So I'd come through and I'd do this, right? I'd in my backswing, I'd do this. See already my hip, wrong. But then if you're watching my wrist here, I'd come in like this, but it's supposed to be like this. Okay? So which means I'd hit the ball, but that club face is open. They're like, no, no, no. So pop this shoulder up, keep that elbow straight. Oh. Oh. Okay. They're like, the snap's good, but you're leaning with this elbow in. Keep it out. So now I'm square. Oh, so my elbow is off. Well, don't worry about the elbow if the hip is off. So I would hit, let's say, 1,000 balls. Focus nothing on, I don't, it doesn't even matter where the ball lands. Focus on the hip. Then I get that locked solved. Now I can get the feel of where the hip should be in the swing. Okay, let's work on something new. That elbow. Okay, keep that elbow. Like, get that elbow. Your elbow's out of place. Well, it feels comfortable in my swing. Yeah, but it makes a slice. So now you're working on the elbow. Working on the elbow. Okay? A year later, I got long ball that hits fairway. Okay? But you can watch as many videos as possible. No. It's the fact that I worked on my hip at a driving range 1,000 times over, and also being incredibly coachable, where someone's telling me, you're still doing it wrong. You're still doing it wrong. That's still wrong. Let's go back to, right? So they had this coaching area with the TV and everything. They're like, again, look at what you're doing. Again, your hip is still there. And I'm like, it doesn't feel like it's there. They're like, you're still doing it. Look. Okay? Very, 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 very specific goals and intents. Intent. 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 Well, again, a lot of people are not coachable. They refuse to listen. They get, I don't know, I guess, ego, not the good ego, it's a part of the ego that's egotistical. The ego gets involved, and, right? And what's happening is you feel like you should be a millionaire trading Forex. And then the more I show you that your techniques are wrong, it's breaking your internal vision of like, you deserve this. Like, this just comes naturally. For some reason, you're destined to be a millionaire Forex trader. You just know it. You just feel it. This is your destiny. And then I'm like, but you suck. And then all of a sudden it breaks this image that it's you. You got this. For some reason, you're destined. And they're like, yeah, but you suck as a trader. And then you're like, how dare you? And then you start fighting. You start fighting me, and then you start fighting yourself. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, whoa, dude, why don't we focus on not sucking for a while and make small, measurable changes to what you're doing? And then you will find your strengths. But right now, you don't even know your strengths and your weaknesses, but you got this image that, you're driving yellow Lamborghinis, pretty girls are going to like you, you're going to have fancy watches, huh? And it's just all in your destiny, but you're not doing anything to earn any of that, except the ego thinks it's going to come naturally. No, it's hard work. Right, going back to the algo idea. Oh, well, you could just find the secret sauce, right? The holy grail. You can find the thing, and you won't have to work. You won't have to work. The algo will work for you. It's the wrong passion, my friend. It's the wrong passion, and that's what's holding you back. So, anyways, you got to be coachable, and you have to have patience. You have to have crazy discipline. You have to have a ridiculous, sickening work ethic. Okay? And you'll find the technicals are actually fairly straightforward. It's usually not that complicated. The fundamentals are more complicated. Okay? And more important, in my opinion. I like technicals a lot. I'm thinking about developing case studies on the best traders, right? In history. I think that'd be cool. And you know what? None of them say the MACD is the reason why they're billionaires. Oh, well, it's that I got a secret combination of moving averages combined with my ADX and my CCI. No, not one trader would say something like that. Even like a turtle trader, like a trend trader, like by definition, what a trend trader is pure technical. But the reason it's successful is because they're trading in alignment with fundamentals. So anyways, fundamentals are much more difficult, but much more important. What's happening to the dollar has everything to do with the 10-year T-note. Wait, what? What? Yeah, are you watching yield on the 2 and the 10? No. Oh, well, you don't know how to trade Forex. Oh, but the moving averages. Oh, yeah, well, the moving averages lag and will be impacted by the move, but the move was created by yield because yield moves money. Money movement moves your moving average. You're behind already. So you need to understand, right? And so that part that's the next step. Okay? So don't look for corners to cut. If you truly love Forex, you'll have a chance to be successful. And if you truly love Forex, you will find more things to do, not less. What else can you perfect? Your hip? Great. Then your elbow? Great. Then what? Your follow through? Your grip? Are you willing to change your grip? Are you willing to change the stance of your feet? What are you willing to do next? What more can you do? What more can you do? What more can you do? I ask myself all the time for my role as a leader in boot camp. What more can I do? It's almost a daily question. What more can I do to serve the boot camp community? What more can be done? What can be changed? What can we tear down? What can we build up? What can we rearrange? But in turn, as a boot camper, you need to be doing the same. What more can I do to improve? What more can I do to learn? Do I have to go through all 65 hours again? Yeah, maybe. You'd be surprised what you catch on your second time around. But what it comes down to is your translation into reality. Theory into practice, theory into practice, theory into practice. Now, I was able to share the theory because I created it from practice. Now, you got to take the theory and make it practice. And that's usually what happens is people watch the videos. They're like, it makes total sense. Or maybe you'll log in and listen to me do a live stream. You're like, yep, totally makes sense. And then you go back to doing what you were doing. Yes, Salado Club is right. New traders think they can just plug in an algo and make millions. But it's not new traders. It's like any get rich quick idea it's so misguided. It's a really perplexing phenomenon. Like, money is easy. Okay? For example, when you're 20, save as much of your money as possible for retirement. When you're 20, save as much as possible for retirement. So when you're 65, you'll have money to retire, right? To retire on. You'll have a nest egg. It'll grow at 8% a year, right? For 45 years. And when you're 65, you will have a very significant pile of money. That's it. So I'll say something like, bust out a spreadsheet. I don't know how to use a spreadsheet. Dude, there's so many free courses on the internet to teach you how to make a spreadsheet. It's like such a bullshit cop-out. It's like my kid saying, "Oh, I don't know how to pick up clothes off my bedroom floor." What? That's it? Bust out a spreadsheet and figure it out. You take 20% of your income and save it. Over time, you'll make more income because you'll get a better job and you'll have more skills. When you're 65, you'll have a boatload of money. But I want to get rich now. Fail. Should have had a different daddy. Maybe if your daddy was rich, you'd be rich. That's how you start rich, by the way. Your daddy's rich, or your mama. You got a rich mama. Okay? Most people don't. So now you need to be the one that makes the money. And how do you make money? Create way more value. You want to make $1 million? Create $10 million worth of value. No, Wayne, I want to make a little robot that prints money. I want to do as little as possible, Wayne, but I want maximum return on my nothing. Yeah, that is nothing, by the way. Oh, well, this other guy did. Yeah, okay, whatever. So if you wake up in the morning and focus on whatever opportunity you have, even if it's just a dead-end job, if you were the world's greatest person at that job, people would notice. So anyways, as a boot camper, when I get stuck, can I email you? No, I'm a busy dude. But I am starting a new live stream for members. So once a week, or even once a day, you'll be able to get answers for such things. But can you email me? No. Unless you want to pay me like, I don't know, 10 grand a month. Then the answer is maybe I can make an exception. Okay. So anyways, that's it. I'm done. I got to go. But that's where I want everyone to be. What more can be done? What more can you do? What can you ungather? I mean, it's all about creating value, right? And creating value very rarely means doing less. Okay? Yeah. Take care, Johnny. I'll see everybody tonight. Remember, in the day trading group, I'll try to remember to send an email, but oh my God, I'm going to be running all over the place today. But we're meeting at 4 now. We're meeting at 4, not 7. 4. We're meeting at 4, day trading group at 4 p.m. New York close, front running the Asian session. Golly, I got to put this in my phone, but I gotta roll, yo. Thank you for being part of this community. It's a complicated time. Sorry I got sidetracked on questions, but I'm here to answer questions too. The main thing I want to say is fall in love with this thing called Forex. Fall in love with it. You will not try to cheat and cut corners and find the easy way to make money. Bro, there is no easy way. Well, I suppose, what? You can rob banks or prostitution, but I don't think bank robbers or prostitutes are very happy. But those are very quick ways to make a buck. Very rare, but I think you want to be happy, don't you? It's not the money. Don't you just want to be happy? Okay? So put your pants back on, take the ski mask off. And the way to happiness is serving. Creating value for somebody else in exchange for money or food or some other service, right? But that's what it comes down to. You're providing $10 worth of value and they're paying you $5 back and they're happy. That's the secret sauce. Create value and make the world a better place, and people will want to be a part of that. In this case, you need to learn how to trade Forex, and your service to them is your patience and discipline to provide steady returns in an unsteady world. You don't have to be the world's greatest trader. You don't have to make huge sums of money. Look, if the stock market's down 25 and you're up 10, let me say it again. If the stock market is down 25%, but you're up 10%, you were up 10% last year, you're going to be up 10% next year, you're up 10% this year. Well, this particular year, you're better than the best. Best believe you're the baddest. You're a hero. Don't worry, next year you'll be good too, and the year after you'll be mediocre, but you're consistent. Why? You never take big risks. You adapt as you go along. But that's value. That's what people are looking for. So if you're like, but Wayne, I make 1,000% a year, nobody's interested. You just told somebody you made 1,000% on $2. Okay? Because the psychology of money doesn't work that way. When you have a lot of money, you're not thinking about 1,000%. That's not how it works. So, okay, wake up, create value, learn this thing Forex, and ask yourself, what more can I do to improve? You repeat that for 20 years, you'll at least be mediocre. And that's good enough. Because in a year when the stock market's down 25%, think about it. Everybody in that industry is helpless. They didn't short. They didn't go to cash. They didn't hedge. And that's your competition? Gee whiz. Then you have a built-in competitive advantage. The thing is, can you do it? No, you can't do it. Well, what if you just built an algo and it'll do it for you? Since you can't do it, you can build an algo that can do it. Really? Really? Why don't you just do it? I think it'd be easier and much more rewarding. You'll sleep better at night when you're doing it. So got to jump, babe. That was real. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thank you to you. Thank you to Trader's Way. Thank you to FX Bootcamp. Thank you to me. Thank you, everybody. Ciao.